Hello and welcome to the Rambling Hour, where today we will be playing Banished.
It's not a good city sim unless you have to worry about everything exploding and spiraling out of control in 5 minutes.
You say that, but I personally think this game is super comfy. Like, really, I've played this for maybe 40 hours. I even made a small mod for it.
You don't even play City Skylines anymore. You were literally like haranguing me to get all the DLC. What is wrong with you?
Hey, to be fair, I did play City Skyline for like 60 hours, I think.
I should pick it up again. Like every once in a while I go back to it.
I'm gonna move the microphone a bit.
Oh, watch out! I don't know. Are we still... Yeah, we're still audible.
Yeah, the problem is that the whole UI thingy is here at the bottom.
Oh no!
So that microphone was in the way.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a desk real estate problem.
Yeah.
Ever since I had to get a different second screen than yours because you weren't going on your laptop anymore, and I can't do my job without two screens because it's just too many screens for one tiny screen.
Really, I can't work with only one screen. Meanwhile, I've been working on like tiny laptop screens and such.
Yeah, have you been working with an editor where you have like 4 editing screens at once in the way of your main screen and then you can't see anything on a single screen?
Honey, I work in Unity. Yes! Especially when you start making your own editors because Unity needs that at times.
It's ultra inefficient. I hate it.
So how did we... Yeah, okay. So, the idea of Banished is that it's a city builder, but all the characters in the game are
Also,
effectively...
you're kind of shouty.
Sorry. Are effectively banished from wherever they came from. So... Yeah, it's... there's no big, like, trade systems or anything, and I'm completely forgetting to assign builders and everything. Always have this window open. Come on. There we go. We can collect some more resources. Harvest all that, and let's see.
Pardon me?
Let's get some food production going, because I am taking a bit of a slow start here. Actually.
Can't play an RTS, can't play this.
Oh, shut up, you.
It is true, though.
15. I've played this for, again, 40 hours. Even made a small mod for it, nothing fancy, just a new set of starting conditions, and...
Because it wasn't hard enough yet.
Honestly, my starting condition isn't even the hardest that I made. I was just like, okay, I just want a little less people, but I want you to be able to start farming from the beginning.
I was worried for a second those were wolves and they were going to eat all your people.
There's legit no such danger in this game.
Boo! How can you have fun if there isn't like a water demon eating all of your people?
Have you ever had smallpox running through your village?
The equivalent of that in Pharaoh is getting malaria because you pissed off Bast.
Okay, fair enough.
The easiest way of getting rid of it is just deleting the houses.
So now we have a couple of farmers going on. We need more houses, of course, because we have 5 families.
Sadly enough, in Pharaoh, if you get malaria and you only have 1 living district, you're kind of fucked.
Let's also build a road.
I guess I owe you a play of that now.
Maybe.
Yeah, but then I will do an already in progress one because it's gonna be difficult for me to talk over it if I still have to build up and start trading. I'll find a level where I have to build like a mastaba or a temple or something.
Yay, immediately the cool shit.
And then I'm like at the moment of building the mastaba. Takes more than an hour anyway. Hold on, I have to do a celebration. Back to mastaba.
Okay, let's build a fishing shack here. And connect the road.
There you go.
Our resources are doing okay, I think. Yeah.
I wish I could do a visual model of it.
Of this game?
Yeah, I'd like make the houses extra Viking or something.
You can do that. You can exchange models. So the thing is with modding this game is that you can add or modify content, but you can't touch the game rules, unfortunately. Which I find
that sounds familiar.
I find that a massive shame, because when I was playing this game, I was like, oh, there's like you can make a school so your workers become more clever if you start teaching them young, so that would be great. But then there is like, I was like, yeah, but what if I could make it more interesting? Like, certain jobs would only be available to people who have had education, like a doctor or something. It's like, yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to mod that in, which is such a shame. But this game was apparently made by...
Well, education doesn't have an effect in Pharaoh beyond making your houses prettier, so...
Yeah, well, here it increases worker output. So, I'm forgetting to make a...
That's actually a
chopper.
pretty common thing. If I were to make a city builder, I would go with a walker system.
Walker system?
Yeah, Pharaoh just basically has all the houses spawn... Well, buildings spawn walkers that do the thing that the building is supposed to do, or recruit people to work in the building. The only thing that doesn't spawn walkers is the houses, unless they've been freshly put or have upgraded, because then walkers come from outside to then live in your houses.
Okay.
Immigration!
Okay. But yeah, so I wanted to mod something like that in, but it's literally impossible. So that's a shame. But I made some new starting conditions, and it actually became kind of popular on Steam. Like, I think about 2,000 downloads, and it got in the top 10.
I do not like the roof texture very much. It's very clearly very repetitive.
Yeah. But I do like the house buildings themselves. Like, I like them. I like them more than the stone houses. The stone houses look too modern to my taste.
A toony look mod. A toony look mod, because I can't do high realism.
Possible, but yeah. But at that point, why wouldn't you play something like Northgard or...
I don't know. I don't know the game.
Like that. Northgard is also a sort of like a bit more of a mix between city builder and RTS game that I've been having my eye on.
You wanna know the sad thing about me and Pharaoh? I've essentially been playing that game my entire life. I've never finished the campaign once.
Sounds like me and Age of Empires.
I have finished one campaign in Age of Empires, at long last.
Which one? The Egypt one?
Barbarossa.
Age of Empires 2. Yeah.
Age of Empires 1, no.
I remember that...
Just no.
I remember that me and a friend of mine, he had Age of Empires 2, I didn't have it. We played through a campaign, but like with, insta-win cheats, because we just wanted to see the story of Jeanne d'Arc.
I technically also finished that one, but at one level I just could not produce enough gold to make enough siege weaponry to attack the guy. So I was just like, okay, fine, I'll just cheat me like 1,000 gold or something and just get this over with. I'm done with this level, let's move on. It wasn't even like I was being defeated, I just couldn't finish it because I didn't have the resources anymore.
Anyway, let's...
It was pretty depressing, especially because the AI does not need those resources, so they just could keep endlessly attacking me. And I did not have like 10 priests hanging around to constantly heal my army or something.
Yeah. Age of Empires AI is notorious for cheating so much.
My favorite cheating AI that I've ever seen is the one in Command & Conquer 1. You can literally have destroyed all of their resources and just be hanging out on the outskirts of their camp, and they will forever keep building infantry. Just forever. It's like, you can't even get resources anymore. How are you doing this?
Let's build a Forester Lodge somewhere here. Those guys will like plant and harvest trees automatically, which is pretty useful because trees grow back very slowly in this game.
I had a fun problem in Pharaoh once, speaking of growing trees.
Yeah.
I constantly kept running out of reeds, and since papyrus in that level happened to be my main export, it completely blockaded the construction of a monument.
Aye.
So it's like, oh god, I do not have the cash. No, stop getting rocks!
Now you're
My money!
now you're shouting. You know
Yeah,
that?
okay.
I'm getting half deaf here.
Well, you make me half deaf regularly.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes.
Hmm.
Here we are talking about random city builders that have nothing to do with this game.
Yes. But really, this game is pretty zen. It's pretty comfy.
Honestly, I do like how manic Pharaoh is in like the starting hour of like a nap.
Hmm.
It's very like, did I forget anything? Oh no, healing!
Let's actually close that road to be a loop. Yeah, okay, so we are having more than enough firewood according to this guy, which I don't believe. Why is it saying that we have enough at 61 when the fuel limit is 200? Never had that happen before. Interesting.
You broke the game!
It's not like... But, infantry, come on.
Well, at least it isn't that Arctic one you got.
Arctic one?
That Arctic city builder.
Oh, Frostpunk, you mean?
Yes, I forgot the name.
We could play that sometime as well. This is also really cool.
Can we then please play it as the most authoritarian fuck ever?
We absolutely can. Also, why
Because I know that is an option.
why did I build 2 stockpiles?
The most annoying thing you can do in Pharaoh is just raise your taxes, but it's not really recommended in my opinion.
Yeah.
Your city needs to be pretty fucking amazing to allow for that.
Hmm. Gotta
And
convince
even
people
then-
to come and live there.
And even then, you kind of risk lowering your workforce to the point where you get into the spiral where you don't have enough food, and because you don't have enough food, you don't have enough workers. So your architect house and your fireplace does not get fixed up, so nobody runs around to check if nothing's going to collapse or catch fire, and then everything's on fire, and then your entire city is destroyed.
Sounds fun.
It has a spiral problem, yes.
Hmm.
I've only found one way to get beyond it is like if you have like one food crisis,
Yeah.
you can decide to say put all the workers in food and secondary into infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Then only a couple of buildings might collapse, but you won't continue the cycle because you're actually still getting food and making sure nothing collapses.
Okay. So, how am I gonna continue planning these roads? I'm guessing because we're gotta think of expanding. Because here's the thing.
Nah, forever 5 houses.
No, because people will, grow old and then they want to move out so they can start making babies, but and that's your only way of expanding outside of
How
nomads, which
utilitarian of you.
yeah.
Making babies. They want to move out.
Yeah, they only want to start a family when they have their own house. They don't want to do it while they're still living with their parents, which I understand. I understand completely.
It's raining.
Yeah.
Oh god, those are not that's not Celsius degrees.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, normally I put it to Celsius. I must have forgotten this time.
It's on my PC, it's not your settings.
Yeah, I must have forgotten to set
And
this
on my Steam
Oh,
account.
We're out of stone. Okay, collect stone. Collect these boys.
Plonk, plonk, plonk. Can you mine?
Yes, so we already have found some iron, so this somewhat darker, that's iron, and you can build quarries and mines later, but
I finally understand why Age of Empires had their iron and gold sparkling.
yeah. Yep.
Hey guys, this is interesting, you need it!
Pretty much.
Fine, I'll go collect it.
Mhm.
I had a really bad habit in Age of Empires 2 of getting just as much workers on every type of resource, and you kind of don't need to do that.
Oh yeah.
You
yeah,
need
yeah.
to most on food, then wood, and like stone and gold can be like 3 people depending on how much you need to produce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you also have some space to go trading with your own
Also,
marketplaces.
is it interesting to build a bridge here eventually? Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty nice plot of land to...
I have a feeling the river has a flow map.
I don't... Oh, well, yeah, it does.
Look at it.
Does.
It is a flow map.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a seed generation, so this is generated flow map.
Yeah. You do notice the... I'll open the map for a second, because you do notice the artificiality of the generator. Like, it always creates this, like, river, and then it makes, like, a few big spotted lakes everywhere. It's very artificial, but...
Look, I see tiling on the mountains.
But again, this game was made by 1 or 2 people at most, so it's actually kind of impressive in my opinion.
I don't know how to do random generation, so I wouldn't even do it like this.
And I don't even think this was made with Unity or something. I think this was a proprietary engine.
Speaking of random generation, I've been playing Persona 4 and I do not like the dungeons.
Yeah.
Actually, I should be more specific. I like the thematics of the dungeon. I do not like how they're made. I'm just running around and it's like, nothing's interesting here.
Yeah.
Just the same 5 objects over and over.
Come on, we're gonna need someone to grow up so that we can have some extra laborers. Because we have so many people. Well, maybe we have a little too much on food production right now. Considering...
But what if it's a harsh winter?
Yeah.
What if locusts show up?
Locusts don't show up in this game.
I'm still amazed that the set video managed to get locusts in Pharaoh. I've never had that happen. I'm just like, what?
Wait, that can happen? Locusts? That was you, basically.
Yeah.
Which, of course, locusts can happen. Come on, they're one of the classics when it comes to Egypt.
It might be that it's a Cleopatra expansion only thing, and I've only played the default campaign. Where the usual problem with Osiris is, oh, you didn't worship me, your crops fail. Or, oh, you didn't worship me, no flood.
I can't even remember placing down two stockpiles. It's like, wait, what happened?
I remember you doing it.
Okay.
Somewhere at the start of this video.
Well, oh wait, no, I placed down 1, but they already... Because normally you have to build the storage barn and the stockpile and such yourself, but maybe with this difficulty setting, they already place them.
Normally he calls it.
Yeah, normally I play on the quote-unquote hardest difficulty.
Did you want to ramble at me, so you don't play it on hardest?
I could have played it on hardest.
Oh, I forgot one angry Osiris effect. You do get a flood, but all your fields get destroyed.
Oh.
Which is like the most harmless one. You have to be legitimately poor for that one to be negative.
Okay. I don't know, that sounds like a pretty bad deal.
Well, the thing is, you need the flood to make sure the fields will yield the most. So even if your fields just get all deleted, you just build them again. Can be a nice reset point if you've been like, oh yeah, let's just build piles of beer fields or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's barley that they call it.
Barley.
Barley.
That's also in this game normally. Actually, do I have...
Yeah, let's make some beer for these people.
No, I wonder... You can do that, but I'm wondering now, do I have a farm animal already in this starting mode?
I don't know, how would you know?
Well, we're gonna have to check. By making a pasture. Let's see. Get people working on that.
Must be fun to have the animals running around between iron and stone.
Well, it's gonna get removed.
Do you have space for it?
Yeah, they're gonna harvest all that stuff. And we have our 12th civilian, so we can actually build another house for them to start another family.
Yay!
At least if they're both, if they're male and female. Yes, this game is very heteronormative, people. Oh, yeah.
Well, to be honest, considering the kind of living circumstances we're seeing here, this is pre any in vitro fertilization, so...
Yeah, also like they're counted adult as soon as they reach 10 years old.
And I'm not under the impression an orphanage is an option.
No, though there is a poor people's house, which I've never built. I've never built a poor people's house.
So, I'm sorry that it's very heteronormative, but it kind of makes sense.
It's also just, suppose that, you have a bad RNG strike and like, oh no, like an entire generation is almost exclusively gay, then that kind of spells doom for your village, which would be funny storytelling, don't get me wrong, but...
Frankly, I think if you have a society where most people are some kind of gay, that they might decide to have, I don't know, breeding on the side.
Oh, utilitarian...
utilitarian sex.
Yeah,
we'll live together with the partner that we love the most, which, depending their gender.
But the biological parents are not exactly the same.
There was this whole short film thing once where they were trying to make it clear what it's like to be treated as a gay person.
Oh yeah.
With everything inverse, so nobody was straight but everybody was gay, and they had exactly that.
Yeah.
They had exactly utilitarian breeding.
What?
So they didn't just inverse it, they actually thought about how would this actually work.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It did look a bit stupid, but at the end of the day, you just want people to be treated fairly.
Yeah.
That's all I would want.
I get the messaging behind it, but it just felt rather ham-fisted in my opinion. But then again, what PSA isn't?
Well, most PSAs are ham-fisted. It's like that picture of a kid with a gun and a kid with a Kindersurprise, and then it's like, one of these two is illegal in America.
The United States. But that's also legit just a really stupid fact. Like, yeah.
Well, do you know why Kindersurprise is forbidden?
Because kids choked on it. Because American kids are fucking stupid.
It's even better. It's not just because kids may have choked on it. You're not allowed to have non-edible things in candy. I'm not sure if it's that specifically candy, but you're not allowed to have non-edible things and stuff that you would give kids.
Okay. Okay, so we don't have an animal yet because we can't select any here.
How would you know you have an animal anyway?
Well, some starting conditions give you an animal already. I was hoping on having a sheep because then we can make clothes because our clothes will be run through.
I think.
Yeah. Gonna have to build at least one house. Let's plop one down here.
Who moves out during midwinter? Merry Christmas, Mom! I'm out!
Don't you love your mother?
You can't have your turkey roast without me. It's actually a deer roast.
You are breaking your mother's heart.
I don't think they have turkeys on this map, do they?
No. No. We can hunt for deer, though.
Yeah, look, they're right there. They're the wolves that weren't wolves.
Yeah. I don't think there's predators in this game at all.
It's one way of looking at it, I guess.
Yeah. I should probably also make a smithy so we can make...
How likely is it that by the end of this hour we have beer in this town?
I would have to rush for it, which is not a good idea in my...
Sorry, viewers, I tried to get something interesting to happen.
In my experience.
Yes, I'm being unnecessarily mean.
My wife just wants to see drunk townies. This isn't Dwarf Fortress, honey, which we could also play sometime.
That game scares me.
I fear no game, but that one, it scares me.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, Pharaoh, that's super easy, no problem. I know exactly how to tame that one. Dwarf Fortress. How about no?
Dwarf Fortress is just kind of chaos personified.
It's just one guy going absolutely nuts on
Two, actually.
Two guys?
Yeah, it's
two guys going
two brothers
absolutely
making it.
Nuts on ultra granular interactivity and simulation.
Yup.
If you ever wanted an immersive sim, there is your holy grail.
Yep.
When did they start making that?
20 years ago.
What exactly 20 years ago? When?
I don't know the exact date.
Because it's likely that it's inspired by Ultima 7 as well.
I wouldn't know.
All they did was make it possible to move items around in your map.
But I recently there is this YouTube channel that does like developer stories of old games.
Like, I'm not trying to pretend that they couldn't have come up with the idea itself on their own, but
let's reduce the amount of tools.
The idea of an immersive sim has, how should I put it, a long ass history.
Yup. It does. It certainly does.
Longer than some people might think, because the first thing people think of when you say immersive sim is either System Shock 1 or Deus Ex.
Yep. Which already, that's a 6-year gap between those two.
Yeah. And it's also gonna depend a little on your definition, because System Shock 1, I can see why you might not consider it as such.
It's more like...
Having played it on this channel.
To me, System Shock...
We have a playlist for it.
Yeah, to me, System Shock 1 strikes me a little more as a first-person Metroid shooter thing.
But Metroidvanias weren't a thing yet.
But Metroid was a thing.
But Metroidvania wasn't yet, and it's more of a Metroidvania, let's be honest.
Well, I mean...
You backtrack a fuck ton in that game.
Yeah, honey, I've played some Metroids. To be honest, the whole Vania part is really just because Castlevania became more popular than Metroid somehow.
Because they made a castle like it was Metroid.
No, not that, but it's like... Castlevania is a much more popular series than Metroid at this point, and was very quickly... And you know why?
I know why. I'm gonna tell you why. And Resident Evil has also discovered it recently. One word. Vampires.
No, it's not that. It's very simple. You know how much time there was between Metroid games? 4 years. You know how many time there was between Castlevania games?
A year?
Almost annualized. Castlevania kind of flooded the market, and they're good games, don't get me wrong.
Well, it depends on what game you pick up.
But honestly, I do have to say that, you know, people are recently going all like, oh, Metroidvania is a terrible genre name and we should change it, and I don't fully agree, but I will agree the Vania part of the genre name is kind of unnecessary because the whole genre was invented pretty much by Metroid. So honestly, maybe it's not a better name because it will be like Doom-like or Doom clones. It's a Metroid clone. That's kind of all you need to describe the genre.
First-person shooter, we had the Doom clone. Thanks, video games.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
thing.
kind of like Souls-like and roguelike. It doesn't mean anything unless you are a gamer.
Yeah.
They're terrible genre descriptors.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Metroidvania is a bad genre descriptor, but the Vania part is already kind of unnecessary because everything the genre does was already there in Metroid.
Here is a random suggestion for an alternative to Metroidvania, if it ever would change. Which honestly is unlikely considering just how ingrained it is at this point. Explorative platformer.
Yeah, I still don't really think that's a good descriptor though.
You do a lot of exploring and jumping around.
Yeah, I know.
The action part, honestly, is not that necessary. It's just there as a blockade for the exploration. To make the exploration on its own interesting.
Yeah.
And other platformers are just so linear that you can't call them very explory.
Yeah, that's true. But I do feel that it kind of lacks the kind of core concept of character growth.
Well, you come up with a better name that isn't action RPG, because that doesn't mean anything anymore.
That really doesn't mean anything often anymore. I know, like, at this point, yes, Assassin's Creed has everything that makes it an RPG, but I still feel dirty whenever it's called that.
It is not an RPG. Oh god.
But it has all the systems.
I was punished so hard for one choice I made. I was just mad. I did not feel like I was playing my story. I just feel like I was getting flagellated because I decided I liked the hookers more.
Well, that sounds pretty much like an RPG experience. I'm teasing you, but you have to admit it sounds a little bit like what an RPG would do.
Yeah, but it wouldn't do it 30 hours later.
Yeah.
You'd have a more immediate impact of it, and it wouldn't like give you then a false choice of like, oh yeah, remember that one guy you didn't follow? Now you get a chance to follow him anyway. Wait, no, never mind, it's not true. They lied to me!
This one is annoying me, so I'm gonna like destroy it. So they are gonna place all the stuff over there. I'm gonna make a new one that's actually bordering on the thingy, and then I'm gonna delete that one. Yes, it's clumsy. It's very clumsy. No, it's this one that I want.
You wanna know something fun?
Mm-hmm.
In Pharaoh, you need to empty out the storage yard before you start moving it or destroying it.
Oh yeah.
You have to literally say, accept nothing or empty.
Well, that's the funny thing. You can't do that here. You can't say like, yeah, don't bring anything here. I think there's mods that do it though. Which again made me believe like, oh yeah, you can change mechanics, but they had they had to make specific new buildings to replace these ones with to make that work.
Cry.
Yeah.
Let's just make a whole bunch of new buildings that do what we want.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much how they built this game. Well, how they mod this game. That should be a good enough stockpile, and now we can remove this one and remove.
Hey, by the way, you have
one.
more people who have grown up.
Oh wow, an entire generation grew up. Okay.
Are you happy I'm here?
Yeah, I'm like constantly looking there. It's like still at 13, and now suddenly it's 18. Well, wow.
And I noticed. What does 58 even mean?
58 what?
Temperature.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's Fahrenheit. I saw a great joke about that.
I think I tried Googling what it was referred to, and I was completely convinced it was like referring to alcohol temperature or something. Like
No.
with alcohol or so. No, apparently something with horse blood? What little answers I found, I was like, none of this makes sense. It's
No.
kind of like pounds and inches. It's bullshit.
From what I remember, so what I remember is that 100 Fahrenheit is the average human body temperature. But then I don't
Then
know
again-
what 0 is, because it's not 0 Celsius.
Like legitimately, I thought it had something to do with alcohol freezing temperatures and heating temperatures. But I'm sorry, that made too much sense for whoever made the Fahrenheit scale.
But I saw a great
Actually,
one.
give me my phone. I'm gonna fucking Google it again.
I saw a great joke like that. So, 0 Celsius equals 32 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Oh god, it's not even the freezing temperature of water.
Yes. Hold on. 0 Celsius equals 32 Fahrenheit. Therefore, 0 plus 0 equals 64 Fahrenheit. How do you do that? Adding 0 to make something bigger.
Okay, Fahrenheit scale is a temperature scale based on one proposed in 1724 by the physicist Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. Okay, that's the start. Yada yada yada.
Yes. And?
Several accounts exist on how he originally defined the scale, but the original paper suggests the lower defining point 0 Fahrenheit was established as the freezing temperature of a solution of brine made from a mixture of water, ice, and ammonium chloride, a salt.
So they didn't just take water, but they were like, ooh, let's make this specific mixture.
The other limit, that's where you are coming in, was established as his best estimate of the average human body temperature.
Yeah, so that's...
Set at 96 Fahrenheit. About 2.6 Fahrenheit less than the modern value. Okay, the scale even got redefined throughout the ages.
America, just come on.
So, depending on what year you are, when you get Fahrenheit temperatures, you might need to like adjust by 2 degrees or something.
I know that Americans have like a hard-on for like sticking it to the metric system because freedom or something, but come on.
It gets even better. However, he noted a middle point of 32 Fahrenheit to be set to the temperature of ice water. So there are 3 defining points.
Okay.
Now, modern times, it's defined by 2 fixed points, which is the temperature at which pure water freezes into ice is defined as 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes, that's our 0 Celsius equals 32
And
Fahrenheit.
the boiling point of water is defined to be 212 Fahrenheit.
Why the 12? Like, make it a nice round number. You can do easy math
It's a
with.
redefinition, honey.
I know, but like, come
It's a
on.
redefinition of bullshit.
If you're gonna redefine it, do your work straight. Come on.
Both at sea level and under standard atmospheric pressure.
That's fine. That's what we also do with metric. We go like, it must be under these exact conditions, but these conditions are normal.
Even the split between the 2 modern defining points doesn't make a lick of sense because it's 180 degrees Fahrenheit.
And you know, you'd think that having like this kind of ridiculous system would make Americans great at math because they're constantly trying to calculate and recalculate things, but it doesn't!
It legitimately feels like it's a blockade to do most sciences, to be honest. Like, you have to completely relearn how to interact with values just to do science properly. There is nothing that is defined in this way. When you're like learning about, I don't know, speed, electricity.
Do they have their own values for electricity, or do they still...
Like what actually means something.
Yes.
Hold on, I'll look up what
I know that
means
watts
again.
and such mean something, but the Americans don't have their own system for that, right?
No, that's what I mean, because they do not have their own system for that.
Okay.
Okay, watt is a unit of power
Yeah.
in the International System of Units. It is defined as a derived unit of 1 joule per second, and is used to quantify the rate of energy transfer.
Yeah.
Watt is described as kilogram per times square meters times seconds negative cube. It's probably divided by seconds.
Oh yeah, because it's like joule per second, and joule is how much energy you need to move a certain amount of mass over a certain distance. Yeah.
And like newtons are also like
Newton,
standard stuff.
yeah, Newton is a measurement of force. Yeah, that I know.
A Newton unit is meters per square seconds.
Over
square seconds, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is then always funny when there's like, yeah, this animal packs a punch of like so many newtons, and it's like, tells you how much of a sissy punch Newton had.
It's not even based on his punch, it's
I know,
just a
of course
standardized
not.
way of measuring.
Of course not.
And the great thing about like sciences, and because everything technically is supposed to use the standardized measuring system, you can build up on that. So around here you can assume your students know what a kilogram is, what a meter is, what a second is.
Yeah.
So when you start learning about these concepts, you might have already learned that how we measure speed is kilometers per second.
Yeah.
And then you get to like the electricity stuff, and then they explain you what a joule is, and then they explain you what watts is based on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it builds on each other, and it makes a lot of sense. But no, we gotta be nationalist bastards. It's inches, you guys. Pounds. What kind of pounds? Because there have been multiple pounds throughout history. Have fun, you guys.
Yeah, and then it's like, and how many inches go in a foot again? Oh, it's like this stupid number.
Fine, I'll Google that too.
Yeah, because I always forget it. I always forget how many inches go in a foot.
Okay, I'll admit it feels more natural to speak of inches and feet in English.
Yeah, maybe.
Not languages. Oh god. Foot measurement.
Just Google how many inch go in a foot.
Foot unit.
Yes.
1 foot is defined as... Do you know how many meters a single foot is?
Roughly a third of a meter.
Yeah.
Because a meter is 3 foot 11. I know that.
0.3048.
Yeah, whatever.
1 foot comprises 12 inches.
Okay, 12 inches to a foot.
And 1 yard comprises 3 feet.
So, yeah, yard...
It's not even consistent in how things relate. Like, look, I get it. We used to have a measurement of L.
Yeah.
Which was essentially...
Elbow
lengths of fabric, which made sense if you're like in medieval Europe buying fabrics to make your dress this month. But you know...
This month, you know, the dressmaking was usually a year-long project.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, why would you still use that today when we have like proper measurements? And my elbow is not the same as your elbow. It could be different for 3 centimeters. So you need to know what length the elbow of your favorite seamstress or fabric salesperson is.
Yeah, and then as soon as one dies and their apprentice takes over, it's like, ah, shit! Measurements are going off again! Let's build a bridge here. Just something a little bit exciting.
Okay, welcome to the Rumbling Hour, where we rant about half an hour about something that doesn't even affect us.
It does affect us.
Well, the one way it has affected me is the very short period of time I was in Canada, and then you realize that those people just switch depending. Oh, right now we feel like metric. No, now we feel like the Imperial stuff.
Ah, of course. Can't build it here because of
Can you
that
rotate?
one fucking square. No, because it needs to be in the water.
Rotate it and put it on the other side, I mean.
Yeah, that I can do.
Ta-da! Not a big deal.
Once we've built that, then we can get trade going on with the outside world. Very exciting.
Is it exciting? Is it more exciting than having beer?
Well, it allows us to like get other goods, so that's always nice.
Also, apparently,
Yeah.
the metric Imperial confusion has negatively impacted NASA.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Like, it should be possible to find it, but I think it was something like they had outsourced coding for something, and the people who were coded it in Imperial, and they were expecting to get metric, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoops! Big old mess!
And this is why the ESA will eventually take over. Yeah, no, the Chinese are already ahead of us.
ESA?
European Space Agency. Yes, Europe has its own space agency.
Well, the thing is that I think Europe... on one hand, I don't mind that Europe is not trying to be a massive superpower in any way. On the other hand, I also understand why it might seem scary.
Yeah, no, people like in the last decade, they finally realized like, yeah, maybe it's better if we maybe consolidated our power a little more.
Well, we should be a little bit more independent of like American or Chinese whims.
Exactly why we should consolidate.
And if we are if we at least achieve that kind of independence, then they can do whatever the fuck they want and we can be middling all we want. Because being the most amazing at anything isn't important, to be honest.
No, but it's certainly a matter of, trying to secure ourselves as a future independently. Because, God, Europe is so dependent on all the other superpowers.
Maybe just a stupid example, but okay, we do have food normally under control. Like, we have all our own food production. But just to use it as an example, imagine if like half of our food came from somewhere else, and that somewhere else went into a civil war, interrupting their food production and forcing their own food production almost entirely into their mess.
Yep.
We'd be fucked.
Oh yeah, we'd be fucked.
I'm using this as an example because it's an easy one to understand. In the reality of the real world, it's more like electronics and shit. I'm very snotty today. Do I have a handkerchief hiding somewhere on the desk. There we go. Excuse me, listeners. I'll be snotty for a second.
My wife is a snot-nosed kid.
My nose just decided it was time for it. It's not like I'm having an allergic reaction.
To what?
Did you bring cat home?
Yeah, I brought cat home like when I was like...
out shopping 3 days ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a well.
What's the point of a well?
Well, ever had a fire?
Your fucking city hasn't burned down yet? Do you know what luxury you have?
Well, exactly. I'm building a well, make sure that it won't.
You can't even go a full season in Pharaoh without everything burning down if you don't put a firehouse down. It is amazing. Okay, to be honest, you can somewhat mitigate it with a well, which you use to normally bring water to your populace. And that does lower fire risk a bit, but the most efficient way is a firehouse.
Yeah.
Especially since you will be splitting up housing and industry.
And build ghettos every now and then.
Honestly, I only build ghettos if I have to mine. Because mining needs to be in specific locations, so it's very useful to just have one compound that's like your main trading area and industrial bit, and then another compound which is the mining bit. And because mining has a very negative influence on housing, you just make sure they only have food and water and don't collapse or get malaria. That's how I built my ghettos.
There we go, we have a trade post. So now, every now and then a ship will come by and then we can see if we want to trade something.
Although, to be honest, in Pharaoh, the effect of a ghetto is kind of inevitable.
Yeah?
At some point, your houses will get so, between quotation marks, good, that the populace inside of the house turn into noblemen. Okay. Have you ever seen a nobleman work?
Ah.
They're great for taxes, don't get me wrong, but you're not gonna get work out of them anymore. Every other level, no problem. But
Pharaoh mod, occupy, I don't know, what's an equivalent of Wall Street? Occupy,
Cairo? Gizeh? I don't know.
Yeah. But those are city names.
Well, Gizeh is where just the pyramids are. So that's a burial site if it's anything.
Yeah.
Occupy the Valley of Kings. That would be pointless.
We're gonna sit on these graves. Fuck you.
And then the cops show up, punch you down because they think you're grave robbers. No, we're just occupying. Equal wealth or something.
Or at least slightly less unequal wealth. That would be a start.
Honestly, I'm fine that city builders kind of go that way. That they kind of go, okay, there is wealth inequality in a sense. You're kind of forced by the mechanics of the game to get there anyway.
Yeah, in case
if it isn't by the fact that people don't like industry next to them, and the industry needs to be able to walk to housing.
Yeah.
It is by the fact that the last few stages of housing doesn't give you workers.
Hey, we have another couple.
More couples. Is everybody... You really have enough houses?
Yeah. You have to think one house per 2 adults. So I now have 10 couples and 9 houses, so now I need to build a new one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. You can count like a 5-year-old. Good job.
I have a dumb party trick. Though I'm not 100% sure anymore if my pronunciation is correct. I used to be able to count to 10 in Chinese. Which implicitly means I can count to 99.
Yeah, because the Chinese language actually was very clever. And see, that's how you get a population to be good at math. Shape your language in such a way that it's easy to count in it.
Yeah, have you heard this? France? 98. What?
That's 98. That's 420 18. 420 18. That's 98. To be honest, it's good to get like thinking about math in a different way.
Or 93.
Yeah. 420 13.
I honestly don't understand why I'd say a majority of European languages seem to have like a mid-10 cutoff point of custom words.
Yeah.
11, 12,
13.
13.
Yeah, that's the cutoff.
Yeah, 13 is the
Well,
cutoff.
not quite. Yeah, no, teen is everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, we usually have it mostly with 1 and 2 in the tens. 11 and 12. 11, 12. 13 in... No.
12.
Oh, in French it goes all the way to 16.
16, 17, 18, 19. Yes. Because, what I'm saying is not entirely wrong. Why, in most European languages we're aware of, is there a mid somewhere in the tens cutoff point of custom words?
Yeah, I don't know either, but you know, maybe Europeans just kind of suck at math. I mean, we had the Roman counting system, which was fucking terrifying. Like, it's great for small numbers, don't get me wrong. But good luck writing down thousands with that. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Thousands with then hundreds included.
Yes.
With several dozens.
Yes, it's not fun.
Maybe it's the Romans' fault that we cut off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Well, more that you know, Europe's history with numbers is kind of funky.
I do find it fascinating that. Hold on, wind directions, north, east, south, west. That West European languages have had an enormous influence on each other in language. Sadly enough, I cannot judge East European languages in that sense because I do not understand a single one, even remotely.
Yeah, I mean, honey,
No offense.
Languages have always had massive influences on one another. You just notice it with West European languages because you speak 3 languages in that region.
Saying that I speak 3 languages is a bit much. My French is absolutely terrible.
Well,
Well, I can greet someone and order very rudely.
yes, you always forget that French actually has a politeness form, which I always have to correct you on. More languages need a politeness form. I actually like it.
I don't say I would like. I like this.
Yeah. No.
I want this thing.
Yes. You
Would like? No.
yes.
Want it.
Je voudrais, not je veux.
Je veux un coca, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, no. Je voudrais.
Avec un cerise.
Une cerise.
See, this is why my French sucks. I can't even do that correctly.
And I think it's more cerise.
Cerise?
Yes, not cerise.
Well,
It's chérie for, you know, calling
drink?
someone a cutie,
Ah,
but a cherry is une cerise.
cerise. Okay.
And now someone will be like, no, actually it's un Keris. Fuck!
We wouldn't be surprised. We are not the end point of French, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. French is a gendered language, like most Roman languages are, so...
Our native language is not that gendered.
It actually is!
Whatever gendering it has is not very obvious.
It's not very obvious, indeed. But actually Dutch is a gendered language.
It's not very obvious, though.
Uh-huh.
Point remains. We're not very natively aware of a gendering.
Yeah.
A house is female, right?
Don't ask me. I have no clue.
Maison.
Ah, yeah, in French. Yeah, une maison. Yeah.
A house is female. Is it un or une saucisse?
Gee, I corrected you once and now you're gonna like just keep fishing up ones where I don't know the answer to.
I don't know the answer to most of them. And frankly, if I were to wind up stuck in France for any reason at all, I just wing it and figure it out as I go.
Yeah.
I'm of the assumption that if I have to speak it for long enough, that I'll figure it out naturally. Which I don't think is unreasonable, right?
Ever considered actually going to Canada for Larian?
I'm sorry, but I don't even understand tabernacle, so let alone the rest of Canadian French.
Yes, Canadian French and France French are actually different, dear listeners.
Although, to be honest, considering it's heavily influenced by English, I might actually perform better. I might be less confused than an actual French person.
Yeah.
Only meagerly, though.
Yeah, because the French will say that, going to the toilet is actually going to the toilet, but if you ask them, can I go to the bathroom, they go completely, what? But for Canadians, that's how you say it. Can I go to the bathroom?
So you speak more of a salle de bain than a toilet?
Yeah.
Huh. That's odd. Language analysis with the rambling hour. You're welcome. I'm sorry, I would do German analysis, but I don't know German. Now, if you put some Germans next to us talking German, I would be doing okay-ish.
We can pick up on a couple of things. Not as well as we can with South African.
South African is adorable.
To us it is. Because it's Dutch, but they just were like, yeah,
Well,
rules and grammar, yeah, we don't do that here.
No, I don't think it's that. I honestly feel it's influenced by not knowing the full language, and they just winged it based on what they already knew.
Yeah.
Frankly. And anything that was invented later on, they just invented their own words from, based on how they had been speaking it at that point.
See, now we're out of clothes, so we should probably find a way to make some. I think I'm gonna have to just start hunting and hope for leather, which is not great, but oh well.
Why haven't you been hunting all this time? Those deer look cute. They would be great to rack up on our inn. Wait, we don't have an inn, do we?
No, we don't have a tavern yet.
How will we make up grand stories about this ginormous deer that was hunting us in the wilds?
A deer that's hunting you, now that's metal.
Like, honestly, wouldn't you... I would do that, just for funsies. In a role-playing thing. I'd have taverns who have, random legend stories about why some things exist in the tavern, or why the tavern is named a certain way, whether or not it's true.
Yeah.
Truth is secondary. It's just a story of selling yourself.
There's definitely people who do that. I think I've even done it for a couple of taverns I wrote in RPGs. Didn't do it for the golden deer, though. Or the golden stag. I haven't really decided how I translate it, because I wrote that one in Dutch.
Oh, the bottomless barrel was a fun one.
Yeah?
Even though we translated it to Italian, because it was Italian themed.
Oh, yeah.
Because the idea was that it was a tavern that had started, and then they wanted to expand their basement, and then they found, an entire hidden basement there, so they were the bottomless barrel. Good luck trying to empty out our basement of beer. Bit of a silly story, but I think it would make sense.
It would have worked. I constantly keep forgetting to add builders.
Now, whether or not your players are going to find that out, completely different question. There would have to be a reason why your characters would need to go underground through their basement.
Mm.
And considering this town had a supposedly extensive underground region, even though it was Venice
Yeah.
on the top, which does not make any sense.
How are we out? Oh, damn, we're out of food.
How did you fuck up?
No, we haven't fucked up. Winter is... Oh, there's some time left for winter. Oh, boy.
What?
Well, it's not late winter yet, so...
You fucked up.
Yeah, didn't keep an eye on...
We talked too long about language.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We're almost there though for the video.
Yeah. The hunting cabin would bring us some more food.
But back to my terrible Venice with an underground region that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
I could have built quests to lead the characters down there.
Yeah.
And I even intended to have an orgy cult active in there.
Oh, what now?
An orgy cult!
And demonetized.
Like we're monetized to begin
Yeah,
with.
I just find it always funny to do that. Like, hey, we mentioned something sexual.
It was my response to why are the succubi in D&D standard in the monster manual
Dressed like nuns.
dressed like nuns and not particularly interesting. Yeah, the cult would have been formed around the succubus that was trying to undermine the political situation in the city out of revenge for Sirens being killed hundreds of years ago. And she had made a deal with the devil and become a succubus.
Yes. Yes, and when we say dressed like nuns, we don't mean the kinky kind. We mean like, oh wow, she's wearing like a full bustier and everything.
That's not enough naked.
She's flashing at most a little bit of tie.
Even Dragon Age fell to that. Their lust demons were great in Origins. I loved it.
Yeah.
My only problem, between quotation marks, with lust demons is that they're usually female and I just want naked dudes as well.
Yeah, but those are incubi. That's different, and we don't have incubi
Well,
in
if
our
you're
games.
calling them lust demons,
Yeah. Then
you can have both.
you can have both for sure. It's kind of weird. We've had this trading post for a while already and no ships yet. Normally they come at least once a year.
Well, it's early spring.
Yeah.
I read that as corpse for a second.
Eh?
Your city is called Corpse.
Course, yeah. So yeah, we have a hunting cabin that will... Oh yeah, see, it's already giving us quite some venison.
And leather.
Yeah, but
You
not
don't have
enough.
clothes.
Not enough to make anything with yet.
My city would already have collapsed without clothes in Pharaoh. As soon as you lose anything, it's like, okay, degrade. The worst one is pottery. I do not know what they do with the pottery in that game. It just runs out. All of a sudden, and then you're fucked.
I guess we can already place a tailor. There we go. Put a nice road out of it.
Sheep. Why is this?
Oh, because there's no more wood for wood cutting. Yeah, we are kind of out of wood. I guess we can do a big harvest here though.
Yeah, you've been growing.
Yeah, normally they like kind of grow and cut down
Pause the game.
on their own pace, but
Pause the game.
why?
He's wearing purple!
Yes, a nobleman's collar. And I think it's a she, actually. Yes, it's a she.
She's wearing purple. Isabeth is rich as fuck.
Clothing, ragged. Yeah, rich
My
as fuck.
fucking bum. My fucking bum that it's ragged.
Oh boy, people are going hungry. That's not good.
It's spring, they'll get food soon enough.
Yeah,
Make another field.
Yeah, I could do that, but honestly, the fields take a while because they only get harvested in late summer. I mean, gotta grow your
But the
crops
hunting
steadily.
lots did well, no?
Yeah. It's all gonna pack up a little. Oh,
Oh no,
but
we're
we still
fucked.
have the fishing as well. You know, fish is still coming in.
So what is our conclusion of this video? Metric system rules. Language is very interesting, and we suck at least at one of them that we know of.
Yeah. Pretty much. Oh yeah, that person's gonna die of hunger soon. Unless they get... Here's the thing also, the AI in this game is really stupid at fulfilling their own needs. Like, I'm hungry! Yeah, well, go to your home and eat, and then if there's none, go to the stockpile and get some food there and eat it. No!
What is this Crusader Stronghold?
I don't know, I never played that, but I just know that the AI isn't always that clever. Yeah, actually, you might have a wave of deaths soon. Oh yeah, we already have one person who died. Died of starvation. Ah.
Honey?
Mm.
There is only one good response in this case.
Mm. Ah, yeah, the black and white death thingy.
Oh, wait.
I always hated how they... Because I had black and white, but I had a Dutch version.
I know how it goes.
Dude! Yes, it sounded awful. It was feeling like, why would you do this?
No wonder they think we have a monkey language. Ik ook, dood! Okay, I think we've gone far enough now.
Yeah, we definitely have gone far enough. And our people are dying, so good time to say goodbye, everybody.
See you next time, viewers.
See ya.